I think the top three issues are reliability, reliability, and reliability. Because everyone I talk to wants public transportation that they can count on. It's very simple. People want to get from point A to point B and be able to get there by ensuring that the public transportation is accountable, that provides regular service, and is inexpensive. And as mayor, there are three things that I would do. First of all is that I would make sure that Muni lived up to its 85% on-time performance. And the way that we need to do that is by looking at how we can enforce the city's transportation plan in a way that is going to allocate sufficient resources so that Muni is able to perform. The second thing, which is related to the first, is that for many years we've taken resources that were allocated for Muni and used them for other purposes. And this is done through a process called work orders, where work orders to other departments, and often for purposes that are tangentially related to Muni. I would stop that and make sure that the resources were actually put towards Muni. The third thing is that we have to look at the overall transportation plan for the city and look at projects like the Central Subway. And I have spoken out on the Central Subway and expressed my concerns in light of the grand jury report and other issues that have been raised as to the cost overruns, the design defects, the alleged design defects, the ridership. And I've called for a public hearing because there are too many conflicts in the information that's being put forth by Muni. So a big part of reform has to be to look at the overall plan, the resources, and ultimately figure out how we're going to be able to run a world-class transportation system on the limited resources that we have.
Okay.
I think the amount of overtime that we're paying for Muni is outrageous. And while I understand the reason why overtime often goes outside the budget, we have to run Muni just like a business. And if you had overtime costs at a business, you'd be bankrupt within a few years. We have a system that is overtaxed. We have an infrastructure that needs major refurbishing, and at the same time we cannot get beyond the overtime cost. I run one of the most efficient and effective departments in the city. My department, the Public Defender's Office, we provide representation for about 25,000 people a year on a budget of $25 million. Our entire budget is less than half of what the police and sheriff's department spends in overtime. So I think San Franciscans want a mayor who is progressive, but they also want a mayor who's going to be fiscally accountable to the people. For the last 2 years, I've taken on one of the toughest issues in the city, pension reform. And it's because our pension costs are going through the roof. And so my plan sustains the pension system while at the same time requiring city employees like myself to contribute towards their pensions. This is the kind of fiscal responsibility that we need to have in the city, and I would bring that same fiscal accountability to Muni. And it's something that can be done, but it takes somebody who's got the backbone and determination to do it, and that's me.